What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Tracee Wright. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, um, and I've just relocated to Fayetteville, North Carolina, about 10 months ago.
What's your favorite memory from childhood?
One of my most favorite childhood memories, I would have to say, spending time with my cousins on my dad's side. We grew up as sisters, and it was like sister cousins. And so, anytime I had a chance to be around them and spend the weekend or the summer with them, it would just bring so much joy. Because we had a lot of, trauma going on in our lives. So when we got together, we knew we can count on one another and encourage one another to just move forward, just be there for each other. And we're still like that to this day.
As a 16-year-old, what was one of your goals and where did you see yourself?
So at 16, I always saw myself being like famous, like an actress. Actress, singer, dancer, doing something in the arts. Um, and my grandfather had a lot to play in that because when I was real little, like I would say probably like 4 or 5, he had this dial skirt, and he used to put it on his hand and say hula 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 hula. And every time he would say that, I would just come out, no matter where I was at. I would come out and just start dancing and getting down. And so my granddaddy always said, you gonna grow up and you gonna be somebody. You gonna be somebody important. And so, and I always used to imitate Jackie off of 227. Like that was my favorite thing to do. My family used to always ask me like, "Can you do Jackie off of 227?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go again." But yep, at 16-year-old, I see myself being a singer, um, actress, just like I stated in the arts, doing something like that. Um, Now as an adult, at 16, I don't really think that I thought that far ahead because I had a lot of responsibility as far as taking care of my siblings. So at that time, I was just like, okay, this this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be an actress. I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna see if, my family will help me get to that point. It didn't pan out that way, but I still have that same spirit within me.
What are you most proud of accomplishing?
Of my spirituality. So from um leaving the church, having a background in the church, my father, grandfather, uncles are all pastors, ministers, deacons, things of that nature, and just finding my own path. I went down a real dark area at one point in my life, and I didn't know how I was going to see that other side or see that light at the end of the tunnel. And so once I started changing different things, changing my mindset, putting gratitude in front of everything that I do, that light started getting bigger and bigger. And I was able to have more faith, have more love, have more peace and joy, and even happiness within inside of me that carries me each day. So I would say that would have to be like one of the greatest highlights of my life, just knowing that I know I'm able to bring myself out of certain things, and just rely on the universe, rely on my spirit guides to assist me in every path that I walk.
What's something that you've learned recently that has changed your perspective?
Is divine timing. right? A lot of times we want stuff to be rushed. We want things to be quick, like a microwave, like 2 seconds it's done, and life just doesn't work that way. So in the position I am in my job, I'm looking for more. I want to transition into something else, so I'm filling out applications, redoing a resume, cover letter, and then I just had to stop and just say every time I sent out a application, in divine timing, everything I do in divine timing. Things will work out in divine timing because it's not my control. I can't control any of it. And sometimes it does get a little bit overwhelming. It's like, well, am I doing something wrong? Where they're not seeing my application or they're denying it? And then I have to go back. Those two words come into my mind again. Divine timing. It has nothing to do. You have the accomplishments. You have everything that someone needs. But if it's not the right time, it's not going to happen. They're not going to see those accomplishments. So Tracee, allow the universe to do what they have to do to get those pieces in order, and kind of just step back a little bit. Continue to fill out applications, like don't stop, don't give up, but continue to just have faith that it will land in the right person's lap. And at that time, you will move forward. But in the meantime, between time, what can you be doing? Okay, take some classes on the job that you want to go into. So I have enrolled in a community college to take some courses, and then also some skill sets in my job. Start taking training courses, getting certificates, getting myself prepared within this divine timing. Because if I'm not doing nothing and I just want this job, this specific job, it's not gonna come to me. The faith without works is dead. You have to do something in the meanwhile. So that's where I'm at now. Those two words, divine timing, is embedded in my mind. And I've also, used it with my daughter. She just graduated from college with her bachelor's in psychology. And so now she's trying to find a job, and she's trying to, just get her life in order for her next step beyond college. And I let her know divine timing.
What's a piece of advice that you've received that has stuck with you throughout your life?
I would say a piece of advice that has stuck with me throughout life is just to never give up. Like, especially when I was growing up, I always had that mentality, like, don't give up, follow your dreams, follow your goals. And as I got older, and especially coming into my spirituality, I started following this content creator. You are creators, and he always say, my life is great and will only my life is great and will only get greater. And so, and I say that every day, like, my life is great. My life is good. And it's only going to get better, every day. And I believe that. Do I still have those days where I may be a little off? Yeah, I have those. But then I go back and remember that advice that I've been taught throughout life.
Looking back over your life, if you could talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you say to her and what words of advice would you give her?
I would tell her to not rush to be so grown. Slow down a little bit. Enjoy your teenage years. Enjoy your life. I know you have a lot of responsibilities and you're trying to please, your parents and this and that. But just enjoy this time, because after your teenage years, you go to adolescent and then so on and so on, and you can't get that time back. So just spend like precious time with yourself. Admire yourself, you know. Um, One thing about me, my mother has always told me, I was beautiful. I was, just, she really encouraged me with my looks. And it's like on the other side, my father wasn't so much like that. And so he would kind of be down on me about my weight and things of that nature. And so when I just took what my mom taught me, um, that I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am more than enough. All of that she poured into me while she was, going through the issues she was going through, she still spoke life into me. And so just looking back, and just letting her know I'm proud of her, for just standing up for what was right when people said things were wrong and things happened. They didn't a lot of times didn't believe what I said, but I stayed strong. I said what I said, and that's it, you know. So I'm very proud of her having a voice. So many times teenagers' voices get crushed because their parents may say you talk too much, stay in a child's place. And I was told that numerous of times, but I just didn't listen. So I'm glad I was had that mindset to just speak what was on my mind and not hold back, especially when things were not going the way that it should go. And the advice that I would give to her, again, is to just love yourself more. Love yourself more.